It is easier to do things when you move in silence. And that's why so many people choose to move in silence, because if things don't work out, you don't want to be humiliated. No one wants to feel uncomfortable. No one wants to feel that they didn't meet their goals. No one wants to show the ugly parts. I am getting out of my comfort zone. I am not letting the fear of people seeing me fail. I am not letting my own fear stop. Bonjour, mes amis. My voice is still gone. It's better. It's better, but I can't even. Bonjour, mes amis. Long story how I lost my voice. C'est moi, Jessie, your resident Francophile. See, it comes back randomly. C'est moi, Jessie, your resident Francophile, and here on Cappuccinos and Consignment, I focus on lifestyle, travel, and finance. S'il vous plaît, take a moment to like, subscribe, and follow. Follow me over on Insta. I feel like a pubescent boy. I really do. Follow me over on Insta. I have a blog and TikTok. We're going to chat about that today, because today I was totally humiliated on TikTok. Who humiliated me on TikTok, you may inquire. C'est moi. C'est moi. I was humiliated on my own terms. And while you may not be a talker, is that even a thing? While you may not be on social media, what I experienced today can be applied in so many facets of life. And this humiliation is the reason why you are not where you want to be with regards to so many things. Let's have a bit of story time. I continue to say, I cannot figure TikTok out. That's what I have said. That has been my, I was going to say claim to fame, but no one knows me there. That has been my thing. I can't figure it out. I can't do this. I can't build a community. I can't. That has been my thing. That has been the reason why I have not built a community on TikTok, is because I can't do it. Today, I was finally honest with myself, and I admitted why I cannot build a community on TikTok. It's because I am afraid of being humiliated. I am afraid of having, and I'm not an egotistical person by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm afraid of having my ego bruised. What ego, you inquire? I've built a pretty substantial community on Insta, here on YouTube. We're a community, like gang. We are in this together. TikTok, I don't know those people. And I have been so scared to show up there because I'm starting at the bottom. And while I sing along avec Drizzy, it doesn't feel good starting from the bottom. I will say that. I will admit that. So to anyone who is considering starting their content creating career, starting a new career, it's not easy starting over. It is not. And you know what's even harder than starting over? Starting over in front of beaucoup people. It is terrifying. Over on Insta, if I go live, my community rallies. We are together. We laugh. We joke. It is such a vibe. On TikTok, it's crickets. It is crickets. And the 3 times I have tried to go, not even tried, the 3 times that I have gone live on TikTok, humiliation made me end the live. And when I say humiliation, it is self-imposed humiliation. No one has said anything mean on my TikTok lives. No one has said anything. And that's what's humiliating. I feel that no one was watching because, again, I am so new there. So when the 3 times that I went live, I let the vanity metrics get to me. I let the reality of what was happening on TikTok or not happening get to me. And I always ended the live. I ended the live to save face, so to speak. If I end this live, no one will know that no one showed up to my live. No one will know that no one watched my live. I did that to save myself. Today I went live. Today I went live and I told myself I had to stay on for 20 minutes. So TikTok, beef and all, if you do not know the beef that I am referring to, head over to one of my chats where I talked about how TikTok has shadow banned my videos. So even if you are a part, I believe I have 15.9K on TikTok. Even if you are subscribed or following, I don't know what the word is there. Even if you are a part of that number, you don't see my post unless you physically search for cappuccinos, consignment, cappuccinos, and consignment, because TikTok has shadow banned me. And to get all the details why, check out that short or vlog. So with that, knowing in my head, one, that it's not a figment of my imagination, I know that my videos are being suppressed. In addition to being new, that's like all I needed to not show up. That is all I needed, because not only is it in my head that no one is watching, TikTok has assured me that they're not going to let anyone watch. With that, today I faced my fears. Today I told myself that I had to go live on TikTok for 20 minutes. TikTok is a platform that I do want to develop a community, because there is a lot of potential of growth. There is a lot of potential for earnings. There's a lot of potential to have TikTok as an additional platform to get me where I ultimately want to be. Back to the live. I told myself no matter what, no matter who joined, who didn't join, I would go live for 20 minutes, and not just sitting there quiet, because that was my escape plan. Oh, I'll just move about, kind of do this unofficial ASMR. I won't actually talk, because if I pretend that I don't know the camera is on me and I'm just moving about, again, that lessens the blow. But today I said I am going to talk for 20 minutes. Whatever it's about, I am going to talk for 20 minutes. When I say it was brutal, brutal is an understatement. It was so uncomfortable. It was so awkward. It was so many things, but I pushed through, and I am so glad that I did. When I started, there were two people watching, and that was humiliating. That is humiliating for me. I am not a huge content creator by any stretch of the imagination. I hit 100K on Insta this year. I am at 16K here. I have not been content creating long. I have not had a huge following for a long time, but it still is an ego bruise. It is still humiliating. With those two people present, I still pushed on. I still kept chatting. Those people were not engaging. They weren't commenting. They weren't liking. They were not doing anything. I did not let that stop me, as difficult as that was. It was hard. So for me, I would be lying if I was to say, oh, you just get out there and it doesn't matter who's watching, you just do it. It is hard to do that. But you have to be willing to put yourself in uncomfortable spaces to get to your place of comfort. Because I know, documenting this video, that there will be a day when I look back, because I have a billion Mazami over on TikTok, Insta, YouTube, everywhere, that I'm going to look back and I'm going to laugh, thinking that it was so silly for me to let that stop me. That has been one of the biggest lessons I have learned on social media, and I have been applying to my life. It is easier to do things when you move in silence. And that's why so many people choose to move in silence, because if things don't work out, you don't want to be humiliated. No one wants to feel uncomfortable. No one wants to feel that they didn't meet their goals. No one wants to show the ugly parts. But from the beginning of content creating, I have vowed to always share the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's life. Not every day is a trip to Paris. Not every day is staying in 5-star hotels and ordering $50 omelets. And if you saw that TikTok live, you get it. That's not every day. There are so many days that are more uncomfortable than comfort. But I know that ultimately, it's not even going to balance out. It's not even going to be a factor. I know that my level of comfort is going to be so comfy that I'm going to forget about those days that I was uncomfortable. So being there on TikTok with those two people, I pushed. Before you know it, I didn't even look at the number anymore. It didn't matter who was there because I quickly got in my zone. I got in my zone and realized that I was showing up for me. If no one else joined, it's okay. I was showing up for myself. I told myself that I would do something for 20 minutes, period, poo. And that's what I did. As I'm continuing to talk, I started noticing comments. I started noticing likes. I started hearing all these sounds. I am not that well versed on TikTok, so I don't know what was happening. But I started realizing that people were engaging. And when I looked up in that corner, it was about 75 people. And not only was it 75 people, these 75 people started engaging like no other, to the point where someone got upset that I didn't read their comment. But it moves so fast, and me really not knowing how to work TikTok, I didn't want to hit buttons thinking I was going to, mess up on the roll, mess up what I had going on. It got so good that Mazami, or I don't even know if they were Mazami, people who joined the live started sharing their life experiences. They started sending me roses. If you do not know what roses are, it's a gift. It's a monetary gift. People started sending roses at an alarming rate. People started sending these like halo flower crowns. And from what I understand, those cost more. Someone even sent me like a cowboy hat. And while I don't know what that equals to with regards to money, it didn't matter. It just made me so happy that I set a goal and I stuck with it. And that's what so many of us don't do. A lot of the goals that we set, they may not even be a goal for us. We may want to, I don't know, finish school. For what? Is this a degree that you want? Or were you told you needed to do this? You may be applying for a position that you don't want, but maybe it puts you in a different office or a higher income, which that makes sense. But a lot of times the things that we do aren't even for us. We do them for other people. So today, showing up pour moi was so amazing. And that humiliation, I can tell you, did not last long, because guess what? The people who joined the live later on, they had no clue how humiliated I was at the beginning. They had no clue how uncomfortable I was when I started the live. They did not see any of that. When they tuned in, what they saw was a woman in her bathrobe and eye mask on at a hotel, comfortably speaking to the camera, engaging in the comments. That's what they saw. They don't know the ugly part. They don't know that. So I took that away today, and I feel good. I feel really, really proud of myself, because that was hard. That was so hard for me. And I know while I'm floating on this internal high now, when I go live again on TikTok, it's going to be hard, because there's no guarantee who's going to show up. But my mindset is different. I now know that I am doing this for me. I'm doing this for a bigger picture. I know that. And that's a lesson that I have learned. When your goals and your objective is clear, it makes the ugly parts easier to deal with. I'm not going to say it makes things less awkward, less ugly, but it eases it, because you know that you are working towards a goal. Don't let feeling stupid, feeling humiliated, feeling like you don't have the answers stop you from whatever it is you want to do. Truly think about it. Who does something for the first time and it's just amazing? It's perfect. It's just never been done. Who has done that? Like, in your life, what can you say that you did the first time that was just flawless? Absolutely. I mean, like, outside of being born. And I mean, I can't even use that example, because apparently birthing me was horrible. I was a 10-pound baby. That didn't even go well. My mare almost had to get a C-section because I was so big. So I didn't even get born right, if that's a thing. So with that, there is nothing that you can do for the first time and it's going to be perfect. If you're afraid to apply for a new position, because right now you have been in your space for years and years, you are the subject matter expert. Everyone comes to you for the answer because you know it. You've been here forever. You have all the answers. The thought of starting over is scary. And it's scary because guess what? You're not going to be the person that people come to because you do not know the answers. You are starting over and it's not easy, but I can assure you, when you started that job that you now have all the answers to, guess what? You didn't have the answers then. But what did you do? You constantly worked at becoming better at whatever it is that you wanted to do. And it paid off. It will continue to pay off. And I think the only difference in what I am experiencing now is that I am experiencing it in a public manner. If you are interested, check out this was 2022, 25 days of vlogging. We are not holiday people, so it's not Vlogmas. It was 25 days of vlogging. And one of those vlogs, which I cannot remember the title, I shared how many careers I've had, how often I started over. And these past, I'd say few months, I have questioned, why now am I so scared to start over? Because it never stopped me before from switching careers, for going back to school, from doing this, from doing that. It didn't scare me before. But the only difference is people are watching, and not just the people in my household. There are people watching. There are people who can laugh at the fact that I didn't get this project I thought I was going to do, that I did not succeed in whatever it is that I shared I was going to do. That is the difference. And I'm not letting that stop me anymore. So prepare to be sick of me humiliating myself, trying to see what works. And that is what it is about. Trying. Because you don't know. Had I not gone live today, I would have never known. In my head, no one will ever show up for my lives. Why? Because the last few times I hopped on live, no one showed up. You don't know what's going to happen the next time. So I wanted to share that. I wanted to share that I am getting out of my comfort zone. I am not letting the fear of people seeing me fail. I am not letting my own fear stop me from doing whatever it is that I want to do. And I hope that you can do the same, because I assure you, once you get good at what you're doing and people start watching your greatness, they're not going to remember when you look stupid. They're not going to remember when you couldn't figure out how to scroll up and read the comments. They're not going to remember that. They're going to start coming to you for questions, because now you are the subject matter expert. You are the go-to person for nursing advice, for whatever it is that you are doing. You are going to be that person. But are you willing to be uncomfortable right now? Because you won't be a week from now. You won't be a month from now. You won't be a year from now. Are you okay with being uncomfortable for just a short amount of time to get where you want to be? I can't answer that question for you, but I've answered it pour moi, and I'm okay. I'm okay being uncomfortable. I'm not scared, but I'm okay with being uncomfortable to get where I want to be. So merci beaucoup for just sticking around. If you watch this entire motivation round of applause, you can do it. I'm rooting for you. I appreciate it so much. So I will see you all on the next vlog or TikTok, because your girl is about to have 1.5 billion people watching my lives. Ciao for now.